All right, let's get right into it. Today we're digging into a super important new government memo. And this one really matters because it's all about the financial security of your family, especially if you're a central government employee under the national pension system. So you're definitely going to want to pay attention to this.
So let me ask you a question, and it's a tough one, I know. If the absolute unthinkable were to happen, is your family really protected financially? I mean, what actually happens to all that pension money? Who gets it, and how much do they get? The rules can feel like a maze sometimes.
Well, the good news is a new office memorandum has just come out that clears all of this up. It lays out exactly what families are entitled to. And here's the kicker. It all boils down to one single crucial choice that you, the employee, made. So, okay, let's break down what that choice is and what it means for you.
So, what's this memo really about? Simple. It's about setting clear, straightforward rules for what your family gets if you were to pass away while still in service. The whole point is to get rid of any confusion. To make sure your loved ones get every single benefit they're supposed to get, no questions asked.
Okay, this is the most important part of the whole explainer, so lean in for this. Everything, and I mean everything, we're about to talk about hinges on a single choice, a choice that every government employee has either actively made or was put into by default. And that one choice, it decides which of two completely different paths their family's benefits will go down.
Yeah, you can literally think of it like a fork in the road. Go left, and you're on path 1, which follows the old, traditional, central civil services pension rules. Go right, and you're on path 2 under the new unified pension scheme rules. And trust me, as we're about to see, where you end up on these two paths means a world of difference for your family's financial future.
All right, so let's take that first path. Let's talk about path 1. This is the one for employees who either chose to stick with the old school pension benefits or, well, this is the path they ended up on by default. So if you're on this path, the process is actually pretty straightforward. Here's how it works. First up, the government's share of your pension. That goes right back to the government. Simple. Then, whatever's left in your account, and that's your contributions plus any money they earn from investments, that gets paid out in one big lump sum. And finally, who gets that lump sum? It goes to your spouse. If there's no spouse, it goes to your legal heirs.
And just so we're all on the same page, when I say your remaining amount, the official term for that is the individual corpus. But really, don't let the jargon fool you. It's just a fancy way of saying the money you personally put in plus whatever it earned over the years. That's it.
Okay, that was path 1. Now, let's look at the other side of that fork in the road, path 2. This is for all the employees who specifically chose to get their benefits under the new Unified Pension Scheme, or UPS.
Now, under this option, the rulebook is a bit different. The benefits are all based on what the Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority, or PFRDA, says. But, and this is a huge but, what's so interesting about this path is that it unlocks a whole other benefit for your family. It's something pretty significant, and it's called the death gratuity.
Yeah, this death gratuity is a really big deal. It's a key part of these new rules, and frankly, it can be a massive financial cushion for a family when they need it most. So the big question is, how is it even calculated?
Okay, before we jump into the numbers, there's one word we gotta clear up. Emoluments. The official memo uses it a lot. Sounds complicated, right? It's not. For this calculation, it just means your monthly pay. That's all, your monthly salary.
And here's the breakdown. It's pretty amazing, actually. The gratuity amount is tied directly to how long you've worked. The longer you've been in service, the bigger the payout. So, look at this. If you have less than a year of service, it's 2 times your monthly pay. But if you have 20 years or more, it jumps up to a potential 33 times your monthly pay. I mean, that is a massive, massive difference.
So, as you can imagine, multiplying your salary by 33 could lead to a pretty huge number. But there is a limit. The government has put a cap on the maximum amount that can be paid out.
And that cap is 25 lakh rupees. So just to be clear, no matter what the math says, the absolute highest death gratuity your family can get is 25 lakh, which, let's be honest, is still a very, very significant amount of money.
Phew! Okay, we've covered a lot of ground. So let's just pause for a second and boil this all down. What are the key things you absolutely need to remember? What does this all really mean for you and your family?
Look, at the end of the day, it all comes back to that one choice we talked about. Remember the fork in the road? Path 1, the old rules, means your family gets your personal pension savings paid out in one lump sum. Path 2, the new rules, means they get the new scheme benefits plus they're eligible for that extra death gratuity, which could be up to 25 lakh rupees.
And this isn't some secret hidden rule. The memo itself says, and I'm quoting here, that this information needs to be brought to the notice of the government servants. The government wants you to know this. They want you to understand your options and what they mean.
Which brings us right back to the most important question of all, the one that only you can answer. We've shown you the two paths, but do you know which one you're on? Do you know which path you've chosen for your family's future? Seriously, take a few minutes, find your pension documents, and check. It is absolutely the most critical step you can take to make sure your family is protected in exactly the way you want them to be.